Since we live in a day where all the information is right in your hand because it's in your phone, now is the time to be able to learn faster. Before, we needed to take our time to be able to learn, but now we can learn faster. And I want to share something very interesting here. The word faster is an acronym, and when we grab the word faster, we spell it out F-A-S-T-E-R. The letter F means to forget. So if you want to learn faster, you need to forget what you already know. Because sometimes we feel like we already know it all, so we don't end up learning something new. Because we made a belief in our minds saying we already know that, so what's the point of knowing even more? So the word F means to forget. Now, forget what you already know, forget your limiting belief. Sometimes those limiting belief is stopping you from being able to learn faster. For example, probably you can say, if I read a book, I have to read word by word, but it's not necessary. You don't have to repeat the word as you read it, because when you repeat it, you end up reading slow. And even if we don't say it out loud, we may be repeating it in our mind. But our brain can function in a very unique way. You can actually be able to read the book really fast, and you don't even have to pronounce the word, and you can memorize it, and you can also be able to retain that information. But the limited belief that we have is that that's impossible. I have to read slow to be able to understand. When you read slow, you get distracted. But when you read faster, you're more concentrated because you're going so fast. It's the same way whenever you go on the street, whenever you go on the road, you're moving into 100 miles per hour. You're focused because you don't know who you're going to hit. And you're very focused. But when you end up going very slow, you end up being distracted with what you see on your left side, what you see on your right side, and it doesn't function the same way. So it's possible to be able to read faster. It's possible to be able to retain a lot of information. Now, the word A means to act. If I'm going to act, that means I'm going to have to be able to get involved with the information, with the people talking or teaching you that new knowledge, that new information that you are acquiring during that time. And in college, when the people that end up getting the better grades, the best grade, are the people that end up asking more questions. So those people end up taking action. They ask questions, they grab their book, they know how to take notes, they're taking notes while the teacher is talking. And they're highlighting their pages, they're highlighting their book of the things that is the most important. So they're actually acting. So in learning, we need to be able to be social, we need to be able to act, and we need to be able to ask questions. You can't be able to learn by yourself, because by ourselves we learn a certain way, but whenever we end up getting involved in a group, we end up learning faster. That's A. The letter S means state. We have to be in a learning state, because all learning is state dependent. So if I want to learn faster, I need to put myself in the right state. I need to concentrate. I need to be in that curiosity state to want to know more about that information. When I'm in a very curiosity state, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to be curious. I'm going to be hungry to want to know more. So if our state has a lot to do with our learning, then that means that I have to be able to move my body. That means that I have to put my back up straight. That means that I have to be in that playful state, because whenever kids are in a playful state, they end up learning faster because they end up using their kinesthetic. So there's 3 types of learning, which is auditory, visual, and kinesthetic. And so if you end up using all those 3, you're going to learn faster. For example, sometimes we need to smell, we need to taste, we need to listen, we need to touch. And that's how it end up becoming in our long-term memories. So if you want to learn faster, you have to act. So we went over F, which is forget, A is to act, and S is state. So your state has a lot to do to your learning. Now we're gonna go to T, okay? T is to teach. Whenever I learn something, I have to learn it in such a way so that I can teach it to somebody else. If I can't teach the information, that means that I didn't know or didn't learn the information right. So when you learn, try to put yourself in a situation that, hey, I have to learn this because I have to teach it. And try to do some activity to teach it. You know, probably you can call a friend. Probably you can call somebody and say, hey, I've been learning about certain topic and I want to teach it to you, you know, and I want you to just grade me if you end up learning that information very well. So T means to teach. E means to enter. That means that you have to put in your calendar the time that you're going to learn. If you schedule it, that means you're going to do it. But if you don't schedule it, that means that you're going to pull it off and you're not going to be able to accomplish what the task in hand. You're not going to be able to accomplish your goals. So enter it into your calendar. And R means to review. So there's, like I said, there's learning curves. So you have to review that information. So this is one tip that I want to give you. And if you want to be able to understand the information and be able to make it into a long-term memory, you have to review. So how do you review it? Review it like this. Once you learn an information, you end up learning it. By an hour, you review it, okay? Then by the next day, you review it again. By the next week, you review it again. And by the next month, you review it again. And then it stays into a long-term memory. So faster, you want to be able to be faster in your learning, faster in the things that you do. And in knowing that we're living in a time that is full of information and that you can literally end up earning so much money if you end up being able to move fast. So faster means F, forget. A means to act. S means state. T means to teach, E means to enter, and R means to review. I hope this lesson was very beneficial to you, and I challenge you to put this into action. So whatever you do, try to put the acronym FASTER into anything that you want to learn.